Where will Cardano end up this cycle? Now, there are a lot of different ways to make a price prediction for Cardano, but one of my favorite ways is to price Cardano in Bitcoin, aka Satoshis. A Satoshi is just a unit of Bitcoin, and there are 100 million Satoshis per a Bitcoin. And when you go to the ADA BTC pair on TradingView, the number that you're seeing right here on the right side is actually Satoshis when you're pricing Cardano. So you can see right now we are right at 1,000 Satoshis. And when we zoom out, you can see Cardano has a little bit of a trend line here going with Bitcoin. It loses against Bitcoin during the bear market, and then during alt season, it gains heavily against Bitcoin. And then it spends about the next 3 years losing against Bitcoin. Now, when we look at what happened last cycle, there's going to be a lot of similarities to where we're at today to where we're at in the past. Now, I drew these little lines with the little yellow hands. This is just showing bullish diversions on the 2-day chart. Now, you'll see that the price is putting in a lower low, price is putting in a lower low, but the RSI was putting in a higher low at the same time. And when you're using larger time frames, sometimes it's gonna, spell out a bullish scenario for an asset. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and shrink that. Last cycle, Cardano basically showed us on the daily and the 2-day and the weekly that there's going to be a reversal coming, and we saw the same thing right here. Now, after this, Cardano started to act very similarly to where we're seeing Cardano act today. I'm going to measure this amount of days, and you can see Cardano put in a string of green candles and then kind of slowed down, and then it really took off like a rocket ship. Now, you see Cardano went up and then started a little bit of a consolidation about a month into it. And so this is a 30 days. You can see a little bit of a slowdown. And when we measure the breakout right here, see Cardano also went 30 days and then created a little bit of a slowdown. And then Cardano went on a huge run last time. And so what's very, very interesting is you'll see this red dotted line. Cardano's at the same price when it started to slow down. And it started to slow down right around 1,000 Satoshis. Last cycle, Cardano went all the way up to 6,000 Satoshis. This was a 10x. But if we're going to measure from this area right here, it's a little bit less. And that ended up giving us about a 480% pump. That is going to be a 5.8x. But we're not done with the math just yet. So Cardano did a 5.8x against Bitcoin from that level, but Bitcoin's price wasn't flat. So you see from January 21 to September 21, Bitcoin would gain in price as well. Now, from the tail end of January into September, Bitcoin almost doubled. We're going to round up and just say it did about a 2x. And if we do it from Cardano's price today, Cardano sitting right above $1, and if it gains a 5.8x against Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin does a 2x at the same time, that's going to give us a nice target, which I'm going to reveal in a second. But things might not perform that bullishly. I do want to zoom out and refocus on this trend line here, and so we might not be able to put in a 5.8x. Now, to determine where we're going to hit the trend line, we're going to measure the amount of days it took from the breakout, and that was about 216 days. So if we measure, where do we hit against this line at about 216 days, 216 days is going to put us right in July, which, might be a little unlikely, but, if this were to kind of repeat, we're looking at a 260% pump. That's going to be a 3.6x. Now, let's assume Bitcoin sitting at $100,000 right now. If we're going to be a little bit more conservative, instead of going to $200,000, let's assume it only goes to about $170,000. So now we got $1.08 times 3.6 times 1.7, and this is going to be our conservative target, and then I'm going to show you the bullish target here. Conservative target, $6.61 Cardano. But if we really want to go bullish, and we say it can do a 5.8x, it can go to the previous height against Bitcoin, and Bitcoin can go from 100K to 200K at the time of the peak, you are looking at a $12.50 Cardano. So I just wanted to put that on your radar here. Remember, when you price Cardano, not in dollars, but you price Cardano in Bitcoin, things start looking very bullish. That's all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed this. Deezy out.